Hello, Colby Sharp here, 5th grade teacher in Michigan. Welcome to my channel where we try to help kids fall in love with reading. And today we're talking about the 2022 Newbery and Cadlecott medal winning books. Congratulations to all the winners. I love making this video. I love reflecting on the books that won, sharing my thoughts on them, and hopefully finding some new books to add to my to-read list, which I definitely did with this year's winners. So we're going to start with Cadlecott. And thank you to everyone who asked me to make this video because I wasn't going to. I was feeling kind of lazy. And I did have an extended conversation about many of the ALA winners with my friend Travis Yonker for the Yarn Podcast, and I will link that in the description of this video if you want a little more in-depth analysis. All right, starting with the Cadlecott medal, the committee honored, 4 honor books. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. First up, and we have little Cadlecott medal stickers on these books because actually my friend Mr. Shu and I did a mock Cadlecott of 20 of our favorite picture books of the year. My students are currently studying them. And all 5 of the books honored by the Cadlecott committee were on our list. So we're super excited about it. So when you see these little stickers there from our school library, we're studying them. So we'll start with Unspeakable. I thought Unspeakable was one of the 2 best books written in 2021. I absolutely loved it. I was so happy to see it honored by multiple committees, honored for its writing, honored for the illustrations, and so happy that Floyd Cooper won a Cadlecott honor for this beautiful, just really breathtaking book that takes us inside the Tulsa Race Massacre and just shows us what happened. Such a tragic and awful and terrible event in our nation's history that I think many of us knew very little about growing up. And I'm thankful now that we have a way to help bring this story to kids and bring this truth to kids. So if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. Definitely one of the 2 best books in my opinion of the year. And I won a Cadlecott honor, so congratulations. Next up is Have You Ever Seen a Flower? This book is wild and the art is just so much fun and kind of trippy, and it's just so unique and it doesn't look like anything else, and it's so fun that when you look at like the different differences in styles of these 5 books that the Cadlecott committee honored, it's just so much fun to see. I love Have You Seen a Flower? I think it's beautiful. I think it's gorgeous. I loved reading it aloud to my students. They seem to really like it. I think this book has a huge appeal, wide range of ages. I think from the littlest of littles to much older readers, I think you're going to love this book, and I'm so glad that it won an honor because now so many more people will get a chance to read it. That's really exciting. Next up, Wonder Walker. I actually just read this book to my students yesterday, and we've been talking a lot about wondering and asking questions and trying to learn more about the world and be curious about the world. And this was like the perfect book for that. It is just such a journey of discovery and curiosity, and I loved it. I will show you my favorite page in this entire book. It is a picture of this one right here. Look at this. This is just so beautiful. I love it. I love it. So happy to see Wonder Walkers win a Cadlecott honor. Congratulations to everyone involved in making that book. It's beautiful. Melfell, one of the most fun books to read aloud because you actually have to turn it. You read it like this, and you get to a page, you have to turn it, and then flip the pages the other way. This book, we're currently in the middle of our mock Cadlecott at our school. We're a little behind. And each week we vote on a couple of books, and this book is already made it. We started with 16. It's won 2 rounds. It's into the final 4, and it hasn't even been close in any of its competition. So the kids are really loving this book. And it's K5 who are reading, and it wins almost every class. Both times it's been up. So Melfell, awesome book. And the winner, which I called, and I said as soon as I read this book last January, I said Watercress could be honored by the Newbery and Cadlecott committee. The writing is that good. The illustrations are that good. From beginning to end of the year, I thought this was the best book written, and I was so happy to see it honored. And I'm so happy for Andrea and her Newbery honor, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and Jason for his Cadlecott medal. To die for. So congratulations to all of those honored by the Cadlecott committee, and thank you to the Cadlecott committee. You did some amazing work. Holy smokes, to do this in the middle of a pandemic. Just bravo to you. All right, next up, we're going to the Newbery. Let's just start here with Watercress, a Newbery honor winning book. So happy. I love when we can see a picture book honored by a committee. I would love to be not part of those discussions because it sounds way too hard, but I would love to hear them just talk about a picture book and then like a 300-page novel and comparing them. Oh, it just sounds amazing and magical. So Watercress, congratulations. Love this book. Red, White, and Whole is another book that I loved, and it's over there in my classroom library right now. I can see it in the poetry section. One of my favorite books of the year as well. Love that novel in verse. If you haven't read Red, White, and Whole, please read it. I had a student recently finish it. I had another student who I think added it to their to-read list, which made me happy. I think I might see another copy over there in that book basket. Anyways, Red, White, and Whole, congratulations. I 100% agree with that selection. Love it. I've written down the books because I don't have them. I don't have all the Newbery winners like I have in the past. Too Bright to See. Definitely a top 10 book for me of the year. I loved it. The last 30 pages, I'm just like sobbing, reading it as a teacher, reading it as a parent, reading it thinking about what it was like to be a kid, reading it thinking about what it would be like to be a kid today reading that book. Too Bright to See is going to blow your mind if you haven't read it. I'm so happy and thankful that that book was honored by the committee. It is so powerful and so important. What an important book. What a statement to make that book, to give that book just a life forever. Like, I'm just so thankful that it was honored by the committee. Great book, Too Bright to See. A Snake Falls to Earth. I haven't read it. My wife read it. She reads a lot of young adult books, and I kind of thought that was a young adult book, and I think it just kind of is, up to that 14 age, which is super exciting for those older readers to get a chance to have a book in the Newbery stratosphere, I guess, honored by the Newbery Committee. Very exciting. I haven't read it. I probably will. I try to read all of the books honored by the Newbery Committee. And then finally, the Newbery Medal winning book, which is the Newbery Medal is 100 years old, the only Newbery Medal winning book I haven't read yet. So I hadn't read it. I hadn't read The Last Quintista. I had barely heard of it. People were starting to talk about it a little bit. Came out in October, but everything that I've heard from people who have read it since the announcement, and the people who that I've heard, like they read it before, and I've heard what they said since it won, and the people who have read it in the last week since it won have been nothing but glowing reviews, gushing about it, loving it, which makes me really excited. This is going to be the next book that I read. As soon as I finish, I'm actually reading Tay Keller's new book, and Tay Keller was the winner of the 2021 Newbery Medal. So super excited to read this. So many great books. So thankful to the committees for all the work that they do. I think there's just a lot of great books that kids are going to read for a long time. So those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think. Hope that you found some great books to read and some books to add to your to-read lists, and I hope that some books that you loved were honored. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Colby Sharp. I hope you have an awesome-tastic day.